Hello and welcome. I'm Debbie Cleek from Embrilliance Software, and I'll be your guide today as we navigate through some of my favorite features of Embrilliance Essentials. Before we get started, I'd like to fill you in on some promotions we have that are running currently. First one being 10% off of all Embrilliance software. That would include Density Repair Kit, Alpha Tricks, Stitch Artist, any of the Embrilliance titles. So if you already have an Embrilliance program other than Essentials, now is a good time to add to that. If you don't yet have Essentials, now is a good time to start your embroidery voyage with Embrilliance software. Next on our promotions list is 50% off of all BX fonts. Fonts are my favorite. I love a good BX font. I love a good font design. So at 50% off, it's the perfect time to add to your font collection. The final of the promotions, that would be Embrilliance Essentials and the Circle Club, 2 years of the Circle Club membership for $249. That gives you Embrilliance Essentials in perpetuity, if you will. And the Circle Club, all the features of the Circle Club, which include free designs, discounted software, free educational materials, a variety of really fabulous things. It's a real powerful bundle, all for the price of $249, which is an $80 savings. So I hope that these promotions, I hope they tickle your fancy. I hope they strike a chord with you, and I hope you're able to build your font collection and your Embrilliance software collection using these great promotions. Having said all of that, let's get started with the software. Let me turn this off real quick. Let's go to File. Let's go to File and Merge Stitch File. I'm going to open my folder, click on my design, click Import. That will bring this design onto my design page. Right away, I'd like to bring your attention to the status bar down at the bottom, which lists the hoop size that I have on my design page. It lists the design size. It will also list the selected, if you have more than one design on your design page, it will also list just the size of the selected design on your design page. It will list the stitch count. It will also list the needle and color count for that design. So that is found in the status bar. Okay, let's get started. We're talking about my favorite features. One of my favorite features is sizing because Embrilliance Essentials does it so well. Embrilliance Essentials will recalculate the stitch count when that design is increased or decreased in size. That means that as the design is made bigger, the stitches are added to the design to ensure the integrity of that design when it is stitched out. The same is true when that design is made smaller. Stitches are removed from that design, again, to ensure the integrity of that design and to prevent bulletproof embroidery when you stitch that design out at your machine. Stitch recalculation is a very, very, very important feature of resizing. There's no need to do any stitch to block or to apply anything funky to your design. As I resize my design, let's take a quick look here at the stitch count, 4,074. As I reduce the size of my design, those stitches are reduced or removed as the design is reduced in size, taking it down to 3,444 stitches. The same is true if I increase the size of the design. I can increase the size of the design by clicking and dragging any of the handles, same as I can reduce the size of the design. I can also use the Fit to Hoop button. That will increase the size of the design to fill the selected hoop. Keep in mind, it will only increase the size of the design, the maximum allowable amount of 250%. So chances are, if I wanted to take this design and fill the 8x8 hoop, I wouldn't be able to. It'd probably take a little bit more than 250%, as this design is just a 4x4 a design that fits in the 4x4 hoop. Let's undo this one more time. Yes, 3x3 basically. Okay, one other thing to talk about regarding sizing and stitch recalculation. Let's see, we talked about fit to hoop. Let's talk real quick. Let's move this design up and over the corner here. Let's copy it and paste it. One of my other favorite features is the remove hidden stitches. I'm really big on bringing in designs from design manufacturers, design companies like embroiderydesigns.com, laying out my designs on my design page, getting just that perfect layout, and then having to worry about the fact that, oh my goodness, I have designs layered on my design page, one on top of the other. What's that going to do for my density? I'm going to click and drag a rectangle around my design, selecting all of them. I'm going to come up here to my remove hidden stitches. It has now removed the hidden stitches of that design, so when I take it to my machine, I don't have to worry about it being too dense and creating bulletproof embroidery. The beauty of this feature, I can place my design a number of different places, use this button as many times as I want to. The stitches in the design will not actually be removed and saved until I save the design. That function is taken care of automatically, I should say automagically, during the design save process. Okay, so that is remove hidden stitches. To ensure you have remove hidden stitches enabled, let's go to our preferences. Let's go to our jumps and overlaps. Right here you have an option, remove overlaps when saving stitch files. As long as you have that check mark in there, your hidden stitches will be removed when that design is saved. We'll click OK. Let's click and drag to select all these designs. I'm going to copy those. I'm going to get a new page. I'm going to paste those. And let's get a new hoop. Let's go to our preferences. The first option there, the most important, our hoop selection. Let's go down and select the 200 by 200 hoop. I'm going to click apply. I'm going to click OK. Let's zoom out a little bit so I can see that hoop on my design page. I'm going to separate my designs. And we're going to have a conversation about color. Let's talk color. Okay? First thing I want to talk about is how easy it is to change the color of a design object. And this up here is our object tree, and it has all the objects of the design listed there. And you see we have this design on here twice, so we have some duplicate going on. Don't worry, we'll address that as we move through our design. Okay, I'm going to click on this yellow color here. I'm going to select the Robeson Anton Rayon. Let's scroll down. I like that with Embrilliance Essentials, I can have thread colors from multiple thread manufacturers in a single design. I'm going to click on this brown and click OK. And there, I've just changed the center of my flowers to brown. Okay. The next thing I want to do, I want to change the center of these flowers to brown. No fret. I'm going to click on my yellow color. I'm going to select Palette and Current Page. That is going to list all the colors on the current page, so I don't have to remember what thread palette I got that brown from, which brown it was, because of course there's always, a plethora of the color I had to select from, and I never can remember the name of the color that I wanted to select from. But if I choose Palette and Current Page, the only colors I have there are the ones on my current page, making it so simple for me to select that brown. Click OK, and there we have it. I've changed both the the centers of both my design flowers to the brown. Now let's take care of this little issue we have over here with the duplicate stitching, the duplicate colors. Stitching both of those colors twice at the machine, when I can come over here and use, let's center this a little bit here, and go to my utility menu, select color, well, let's select everything first. Go to the utility menu, go to color sort, reduce by 4 colors, click on new view, and there we have our design in 4 nice, neat color changes. Okay? The next thing we should probably talk about is the number of thread options you have in Embrilliance Essentials. I have all of these different thread palettes to select from. One of them is bound to be your flavor. Robust Anton Rayon is my flavor, so I'm going to click on Robust Anton Rayon, and I'm going to click on use this as my preferred thread brand. Select that, click OK, and all of my colors have now been changed to the Robust Anton thread palette. Let's get a new design page. Let's go back to File, Merge Stitch File. Go back to my designs. Let's bring in these butterfly and bees again. So now when I bring in a design that's not in my thread palette, click the preferred button, and all of my colors are automatically changed to my preferred thread brand. Okay? I think that's a pretty groovy feature. I think it can really simplify and save time when doing our embroidery. And if you're like me, I always have more projects than I have time. So being able to save time any way I can is a big bonus for me. Okay, I can also use the one color button to make this design one color. We're just going to make it yellow. There are a lot of times you might want to go with a cream on cream or white on white embroidery. I mean, it's still big. It's still very popular for linens and things. So you never know when you might have a design that you want to make one color quickly and easily to get that, you know, tone on tone look for one of your upcoming embroidery projects. Let's get a new design page. Let's go to File. Let's go to Merge Stitch File. I'm going to bring in the dog paw design this time. Let's mix it up a little bit. And let's talk about the sewing simulator. With Embrilliance Essentials, you have design editing as far as your color management, your sizing, your adding lettering. Sometimes you want a little bit more control over your editing, but you're not ready to take that jump to enthusiast quite yet. So let me show you real quick and easy how you can change part of a monochrome or a design like this, how I can change just the color of one of these dog paws. Okay, so I'm going to use my sewing simulator for that, and we're going to sew through our design. I'm just going to click and drag the little rectangle here, sewing through my design. I am going to use the stitch by stitch to get to the very end of this design. Let's back up one stitch. I'm going to insert a color stop. I'm going to go to my threads. I'm going to select this green color, click OK, and there we go. I want to do this one better. I'm going to go scroll back through here. I only want to change the color of one dog paw. So I'm going to scroll back through. I'm going to get to the end of my green paw. Whoops. I'm going to use my stitch by stitch reverse. Go to the end of that dog paw. Insert a color stop. This time I'm going to go to my threads. I'm going to change to black. Click OK. And now I have one single dog paw, different color. With that being a single color, I can select it from my object tree. I can copy that and paste that on a new design page. I could give you some ideas of what I could do with this, but I'm sure your minds are already racing with ideas now. Collars, cuffs, polo shirt designs, copy and paste them. There. See, I didn't have to show you that, but it's just a habit. I'm sure you guys are so creative, you've already figured out the step beyond, that extra step to get to this fabulous design from the design. So now I have the original design and I have the other, so I just right away created two designs from a single design, allowing me to make a complete garment, to put a polo shirt design, something on my cuffs, a variety of uses, just being able to use the sewing simulator and this little stop button. Definitely one of my favorite features. Okay, what do we want to see next? I've saved the best for last. And when I say last, we've got quite a bit to cover. It won't be the last thing to cover. We've got quite a bit to cover when it comes to lettering. Lettering is one of my favorite things. I just love creating designs from lettering. I love adding lettering to designs. Let's see. Let's make this multi-line text. Okay. Love has and click set. There we go. Now I can either change the color of this green, of this purple, to the green, or I can click on my one color button, select the green, click OK. There we go. Okay, I hope I wet your whistle a little bit with text because there's more to come. Let's get a new design page. Let's click on my A. Let's talk for a minute about single line text and the options that are available with that. I'm going to type in embroidery designs. Click enter because I'm using single line text, so I press enter on my keyboard. And let's go up here to view, turn our hoop off. Okay, I can slant my text. I can adjust the letter spacing. I can adjust the word spacing. I can curve the top. I can shrink the bottom. I can peek it. Let's peek this. There we go. I just love the number of options that we have working with text all in one convenient location. Also easy to access. You have a style. Let's get a new page. We'll get a new design page. Let's bring some more letters on the design page. And I'm just going to type in my monogram. And I'm going to show you my favorite style. That would be the square left. Because I think this creates the coolest masculine monogram ever. Imagine this small size on a cuff, on a tie, on a polo shirt. Men can monogram too. Okay? Along with that style, you have a variety of others. You have the oval, the bridge down, the ascending and descending, the scaled center. I also can adjust my sewing order here. I'm sure we've all heard that when you stitch hats, they should be stitched center out. And we have that option here in Embrilliance Essentials. I can go center left right or center right left. I can also select to sew that in reverse. Okay? Pretty cool. You never know when you might want to start. The direction in which you sew your design affects the push and pull of the fabric. So there may be a situation where you want to start that from the reverse side. You never know till you're there. We always have options to help an embroiderer with any creative challenge or creative opportunity they have. Okay? Let's get a new design. No, let's work on this design page. Let's get some more lettering on the design page. I'm going to go back to okay, you see these little green handles in the middle of your letters. And you click on those green handles, you see other stuff goes on there. If I click on the bottom little icon, I can bring everything over to the left. Let's undo that. Make everything back to the way it was. Let's click on this again. If I click on the top, we don't have text to path. We have a create your own path and do it your way option. And that is with this first triangle here, first little house icon. I can do this however I want to. I can bring my letters close together. I can spread them out. I can stair step them down. I can stair step them up. A variety of options with that. Let's undo this. Get back to the basic. I also have, let's go to multi-line text. Set that. I also have line spacing. Let's go back here. Where was that? I'm going to click and drag to select those 4 paws. Maybe. I'm going to copy those. There we go. And then again, use my 1 color button. Okay. So let's see, what else do we have to talk about with text? You know, something we haven't touched on, and let's see if I have a font that will show that. We haven't talked about left, right, and center justification. Okay? So depending on what you're doing, I make a lot of wall hangings and things using the Serenity Prayer. And I always use a different one of these options depending on how I want my overall look to be. I'm using a lot of capital letters in unique layouts with that prayer. And I'm also, sometimes I'm left justifying it. Sometimes I'm center justifying it. It just depends on, honestly, a lot of it depends on where your descenders land. I'm just going to throw it out there. Your descenders, like your letters Y and G, that have a tail that goes below the baseline. Because when you're doing poems and prayers and things like that, you're doing multi-line text and you're doing multiple lines of text. And you can't always determine with spacing and things, where those descenders won't lay over another letter below it. So sometimes being able to left or right justify that can alleviate that problem for you. Okay, let's get a new design page. Let's go here to our Merge Design Library button. I'm going to click on this drop down here. I'm going to go to Envelopes. While we're talking about text, I'm going to select the bridge up. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to press Enter on my keyboard. And there we go. My text has just conformed to the shape and size of my banner. Okay. These banners were created in Stitch Artist, so you can't create them in Embrilliance Essentials, but you can use them in Embrilliance Essentials. And we're giving you all these free on Embrilliance.com. Let's see, let's change up my text. I'm going to do all caps. And I probably should have done single line text. Be happy. Now let's go back here to the beginning of our, let's copy this. Let's paste this at the end of our road. There we go. Don't you just love text? I just love it. There's so much you can do that adds so much to a design with just a couple little words. Okay, I have one more thing that I must show you. Let's get another new design page. And just in case you're keeping track, I have 9 design pages open in my software so far. I am not getting any slowdown in my function. I am not getting any crashes. It is handling that well. One of the things that I really love about Embrilliance Essentials is the fact that I can have multiple tabs open at a time. I can cut, copy, and paste across those different design pages until I get my design just the way I want it. Okay, let's get one more new design page. Let's go back here to our Merge Designs. And let's go to Embrilliance. Let's go to our applique shapes. I'm going to select this heart and click OK. I'm going to select my applique position in my color box. I'm going to, instead of clicking the color tab, I'm going to click on the applique tab. Where it says style, I'm going to make sure I have the applique position selected. Okay. In the cutting, I'm going to inflate it just a bit. And I'm going to save this. This is going to give me a cut file that I can take to my digital cutter so I can digitally cut my applique fabric without having to cut it in the hoop, or without having to print a template, or any of those cumbersome steps that you sometimes have to take. This, I can just create this, send it to my digital cutter with my other parts of my applique that I'm doing, cut them all on one mat, nice, neat, clean, easy. Go to save. Okay, let's talk a minute about the different formats available. Scalable Vector Graphic, the SVG, is what I use 9 out of 10 times. There is a flavor for scan and cut, for silhouette, for sheer cut, and then a couple of others. I think these are for professional digital cutters. Not sure. Not really 100% sure what these are, but I do know these other ones, and these are the ones that probably most of us have in our repertoire of crafts and fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to close this out. Let's save this. Okay, and there we go. I've just saved a cut file to send this to my digital cutter. Okay, what else is it that I might need to show you in these last couple minutes we have remaining? Let's talk for a minute about the help files. The fact that your manual is built in there, very important information to have. There is also a printable PDF on the Embrilliance website. Let's talk for a hot minute about the view menu and the manage views. If for some reason your object view disappears, if you go to view, manage view, reset views, it brings everything back to normal. Your utility menu, you saw that's where color sort lives. Very, very valuable feature. Under edit, your house, what I like to call the housekeeping tools, your cut, copy, paste. And under file, don't forget, file will be the most heavily utilized feature in your Embrilliance Essentials software. That is where your files are opened, merged, and saved. Okay? Let's go one more time over the promotions that we have, if you don't mind. Humor me a bit. And I also want to let you know that if you stick around after the session, I will be available for some Q&A if you have a question regarding the presentation, something I didn't show, something I did show that you have a question about, just some general questions. I will be here available for some additional question and answers after the session is ended. So be sure and stick around. One more time, those promotions: 10% off of Embrilliance software, 50% off of BX fonts, and that fabulous Essentials and Circle Club bundle for $249, giving you an $80 savings. And with that, I'd like to thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did presenting it to you. I love machine embroidery. I love Embrilliance software. And I love that I have so many creative people here sharing this with me today. So thank you very much and have a good afternoon.